All right, let's go to Nina, Pinta, and Santa Maria in Springfield, Missouri. What's up?
Hey, how are you? Thanks for taking my call.
Of course. What's up?
So, how do I stop enabling my husband so that he can step up without relying on me to pick up the slack?
Tell me more.
So, we've been married for about 2.5 years.
Okay.
We now have 2 kids, 2 little babies, and he will not keep a job. He doesn't know what he wants to do, doesn't want to work just any job.
So he's working no job?
Correct.
And he's got 2 little babies at home?
Yes.
And he's got a wife. That means you're having to keep the lights on and the rent paid, right?
Yes.
I don't mean to be rude, but this guy's pretty lame.
A little bit.
I totally understand. I don't know what job I want to do. I don't want to work the perfect job, whatever. But dude, get a job at McDonald's. You got bills to pay. You got little kids. Is this the guy you married, or is there a bait and switch that happened here?
I guess kind of explain that a little bit with the bait and switch.
Has he always been a guy that's got a scheme? He's like, and then I'm going to buy duplexes and then I'm going to get rich. Has he always been that guy? Or was he a really hard worker? Then he had baby number 1 and he just hit a wall and then he quit. And then he kind of stumbled and fumbled around. And then you had baby 2. And he's just this kind of taken over him like an illness.
No, so we had kind of met in the middle of like COVID and the quarantine and all that. We actually met and married within like 3 or 4 months, so it's kind of all catching up to me now. And during that time,
way to go with the big whoopsie-doo on that one. All right, so
yeah. So during that time, he had worked with family, odd jobs, handyman kind of work.
So nothing.
Exactly.
Yes.
With kind of the promise of, I think I want to do military, or I think I want to do this, I want to do that. This is what I'm going to do. He always comes up with good plans, or at least sits down and try to come up with a good plan, but is terrible at following through.
Ooh, can I ask a question? This is me. I want to throw a dart up against a wall. And you be happy to say, like, nope, missed that one. Either one of 2 things. Got an alcohol problem or some sort of substance abuse problem, or his mom's still involved.
His mom.
Oh my gosh. Are you for real?
Very, very serious, yes.
Do y'all live with them?
So we did for a lot of last year.
Do y'all still live in the same town?
We do.
So what role does mom play in your life?
I try to keep it as, we still visit her. She babysits the kids once a week. I try to kind of keep up boundaries.
What is he doing? What is your husband doing during the week?
During the week?
Yeah.
He sits at home.
Doing what?
I have no idea.
Have you sat down and looked at him and said, what do you do during the day?
I have a few times, and it's usually, just sat on the phone, watch TV, took a nap.
And what is your response to this?
Before, I would try to encourage him to start a hobby, maybe find...
Get a job!
In hopes of finding a career, I would encourage him to study different...
We are nowhere near career at this point. So here's the deal. You married a 7th grade boy.
I did.
You married a 7th grade boy whose mommy still helps him make sure his underwear is clean. And his mommy is still directing traffic for him and his little girlfriend, who happens to be his wife and the mother of his 2 kids and a professional. What do you do for a living?
So I'm self-employed. I am a hairstylist, and I manage an office.
Awesome.
So
so cool. 2 jobs and mother of 2. And it's not as though he's like y'all have sat down and planned this out, and he's a stay-at-home dad, and he takes care of all of the laundry and all of the dishes and make sure dinner's ready when you get home. None of that's happening. Is that right?
I tried to earlier this year when we moved into the home we're currently in. I sat down with him and I said, if this is what you want, if you want to be a stay-at-home dad, I can make that work. But if you're going to do that, then here's a list of cooking, cleaning, taking care of the babies. If we're going to switch roles, then we need to do it, I guess, as equally as possible.
And then did he call his mommy and say, she's being mean again. She wants me to do dishes. And mom said, oh, hell no. No baby of mine's going to be doing dishes. That's woman's work. Is that what happened?
Well, not quite. She was kind of on board. She was on my side at the beginning of this year.
Uh-huh.
As long as I've never disagreed with what she wants.
Oh my gosh, this is such a wreck. Okay, I'm just going to stop you, Nina. I'm just going to stop you.
Yep.
All of the things you've tried have involved him. Getting him to do things. That's not working. The only move you have left is to take care of you. Okay? I don't know that you're quote unquote enabling him as much as enabling him would be like you buy him alcohol. I mean, you're allowing him to live in your house, which I guess is some sort of enabling, but I don't view it as enabling so much as this is not the life you thought you'd be living 2 kids in. Fair?
Mm-hmm.
This is madness. It's madness. And I know you probably feel sometimes like, am I crazy? No, you're not crazy. This is insane. Your husband is completely bumming out on you. And it's as a husband and father of 2 myself, it's despicable and it's gross. And I would tell him so to his face if he was sitting right here. It's embarrassing. Okay? You don't deserve this. Your kids don't deserve this. And God's sake, he doesn't deserve this. He deserves a better life than the one he's waking up every day and choosing to live. Okay? Here's the hard part about that. You can't make him stop that life. All you can do is deal with you. And probably for the first time in a while, I want you to go get a hotel, to go spend a half day, whatever you need to do. And y'all, I know you can't afford it. I know things are tight right now because you have a bum for a husband who won't get a job. But I want you to sit down with a piece of paper, with a notebook, go to Walmart and get it for 99 cents. And just write down, here's what I need. Here's the life that I want. I want someone who helps, who has a job, who helps with the kids, who is a partner in this whole thing. Not that is waiting to transition from one mother to another mother, which is what he's doing. He's got 2 moms, right?
Mm-hmm.
When I get home, I need this. When I get home, I will not do this. I need a husband who is working and helping. Or I need a husband who is a full-time stay-at-home dad who is plugged all the way in. I've got several friends who have stay-at-home husbands. They're amazing. They're busting their butts, man. It's wild how good they are at it. But they're all in. And top of that list, his mom does not get a vote. Any sort of input whatsoever. Tell him you are not married to his mom. He needs to break up with his mother, because if he still wanted to live in her house, he shouldn't have married you. He shouldn't have slept with you and had 2 kids. That ship has sailed, right?
Mm-hmm.
She doesn't get a vote anymore. And you're trying to keep boundaries and keep her happy and make sure you don't cross her. Those days have to come to an end because those things are coming at the expense of your soul. Right?
Yes.
You're carrying too much, sister.
So what you're describing with the sitting down and telling him what I need, that actually happened twice in the last 2 months.
Okay.
The first time I sat down and I told him what I wanted. It actually is mostly through text because he doesn't like to have conversations in person.
Listen, that's got to stop. Electronic communication is the absolute worst way to communicate something this serious. Here's where you are. This marriage is not even on life support. This marriage is about to be pronounced dead. And then you get to choose how long you want to play married until he moves on to some other woman who's going to support him or make him feel loved. Because my wife don't make me feel loved no more in between waking up and having Bush Tall Boys and Dr. Pepper for breakfast and playing Fortnite and then going back to bed, right? And so he's going to find somebody else. Or his mom is going to whatever. Or you are going to find somebody else. You're going to find somebody at work that's actually kind and treats you with dignity and respect, and you're going to end up violating your own values. So this thing is on life support as it is. So it's not time to like dance around the edges anymore. It's time to go and turn all the lights on and say, you had a here's what I want, here's what I need. Did you add a or what statement to that?
I added an or leave statement.
Did you?
And I did. And he did leave. It was kind of contingent on a job, and he woke up and decided he wasn't going. So I said, okay, there's the or leave. You made that decision.
Mm-hmm.
So I piled his things by the door and he left.
Okay.
And then in less than 24 hours, it was, no, I need you. Please let me come back home. I don't have anywhere to go. And I told him, I was like, nope, there's your mom's or shelters or anywhere else. And he always manages to talk himself back in.
Nope. He doesn't manage to talk himself back in. You allow it.
True.
You allow it. Is he even on the rent? Is he even on the lease here?
He is, yes.
Okay, so he's got a legal claim to his own house, right?
Yes.
And he's got a legal claim to his own children, right?
Right.
Yeah. And so your little 24, basically you're giving him like a timeout. And he's probably been getting little timeouts and slaps on his hand his whole life. And like the great Chuck Palahniuk says, your life is ending 1 minute at a time. And maybe no one's ever told you this, but you're worth more than your husband is treating you right now. And you're worth more than working 2 jobs, coming home, seeing his feet propped up and him looking at you going, hey, the kid's diaper needs to be changed. What's for dinner? Is that how you grew up? Did you see that growing up?
No, complete opposite.
Okay.
We were raised to be very independent and to work hard, and I did see a consistent family. My dad, self-employed, very hard worker. My mom took care of. There's several of us kids, and they worked as a really great team. And I knew I wouldn't have that exactly because, you're never going to have picture perfect of what you think, but
you didn't expect this.
Nowhere near.
Yeah. So I've said this on the show before, and I stand by this. I think we often take the word infidelity and we too narrowly define it into, are you having sex with somebody other than me? I think infidelity, I think fidelity, I think commitment to is much broader than body parts and sex. Fidelity is, I'm all in on this thing. And you're all in on this thing. And so I would characterize what's happening as infidelity. He's taking advantage of you. And there's 2 kids in the mix too. And they are watching, oh, this is how dads are supposed to act.
Right.
This is how marriage works. This is what mom looks like. And I'm not telling you for a second to divorce the guy. I can't do that. I wouldn't do that. That's for you. I'm not telling you to kick him out. I'm telling you, you focusing on him, trying to get him to change his life is not working. It hasn't worked. It's not gonna work. The only thing you can focus on moving forward is here's what I need, and here's my or what statement. And you know what? I'm taking the 2 kids and we're gonna leave. Or if he walks out the door, I don't think you can legally keep him out of his own home. But if he chooses to leave, cool, and goes back to his mommy's house. But this whole thing, man, it's a mess, and it starts and ends with you deciding I'm worth more than this. And I guess it also starts and ends with him deciding to stop dishonoring his wife and stop dishonoring his children and stop dishonoring himself and get up and be an active participant in this home. Because the kids are suffering, you're suffering, and he's suffering. And enough is enough is enough. I'm heartbroken for you. The 3-month COVID romance isn't turning out to be what you thought it was going to be. Maybe it's time for one more. This is the way this will be. Or I'm going to pay to get out of this lease and I'm out. I won't make that call for you, but you need to get some people in your life that you can sit down and work this through. Stick to your boundaries. You're worth them.